Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another NBA 2K gameplay commentary. And today, I wanted to talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. I wanted to talk about Zion, Anthony Davis. I wanted to get this all out the way. I wanted to get this all out the way today. So really, what I want, I don't really have that much to speak on about Zion Williamson, except that I have, just looking at the New Orleans Pelicans and noticing some bad traits that they had with Anthony Davis, I fear that they might be compromising his potential if they do. They have Zion Williamson can work. I really hope. I know he's going to work, but at the same time, you don't want to put him in positions where he gets exposed, and then and then it takes longer for him to process and get better and destroy his confidence. Because really, what you want for Zion Williamson, you want to put him in the best position possible to win and develop. And with the Pelicans and what they did with Anthony Davis, they did a terrible job. I'm not even gonna lie. They did a terrible job. They didn't do a terrible job, but they didn't do a great job with Anthony Davis. And I'm gonna explain why. But first things first, this is what the Pelicans have to do to make Zion Williamson stand out. You have to play him at the 2 guard. I know a lot of people looking like, what? Why would you want him at the 2 guard? Listen, LeBron James came into the league as a guard. I'm trying to think who else. Dwayne Wade came into the league as a shooting guard. They wanted him to play point guard, but he doesn't. But they realized. When he started getting exposed by all the top level point guards in the league, like Baron Davis or Allen Iverson, you had to make sure he was playing in a position where he didn't get torched or lit up or destroy his confidence. You know what I'm saying? Because the NBA is for the wolves, man. There is no pity. There is no sympathy, man. There is no pity or sympathy in the NBA. The NBA is for the wolves. If you can't hang, then you in the wrong league. And for Zion Williamson, you have to put him in the best position possible, and that is the shooting guard position. You have to give him time to develop, just like what Cleveland did with LeBron.
And there's the call on John Collins. That is his first foul of the game.
The same thing Milwaukee did with Giannis.
First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes.
I remember when Giannis was first starting out here in his rookie year. They didn't really play him. They didn't really play him at the small forward position like that, because that one game when Carmelo Anthony lit his ass up for 30 points, they realized we can't play him at the small forward position. We have to put him at the guard position. So you have to start off that way. And the only reason why I fear that with the Pelicans is that because when Anthony Davis, who didn't want to play center at the time, he wanted to play power forward because it would make him feel more comfortable, because it would put him in a more comfortable spot, But they were forcing him to play center. they forced him to play center when they gave up Robin Lopez. When they gave up Robin Lopez, they pretty much forced Anthony Davis to play center, and he wasn't comfortable playing center because at the time he still wasn't where he was then is not where he was at where he's at now.
And here is Simmons.
So with the Pelicans, I hope they learn from the Anthony Davis mistake and they can really consider moving Zion Williamson to the 2 guard spot because he will get exposed by the forwards. You put Zion up against Giannis, he will get exposed. You put him up against Kawhi, exposed. You put him up against LeBron, exposed. Okay? You have to start Zion off as a 2 guard. There's not that many 2 guards in the league. Dwayne Wade is gone. Kobe Bryant is gone. Michael Jordan is long gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not that many 2 guards in the league. Like what 2 guard is really out there that's gonna give him problems? Who? Jimmy Butler? Probably. James Harden? Come on now, you know that ain't happening. Victor Oladipo, he's too undersized for Zion. That's why I say you start him off early, you build his confidence up, and you let him develop, and then you can move him up to the small forward, power forward position. They really have to develop Zion, man. He's NBA ready, but his game has to develop. And you have to put him in a comfortable position for him to develop. So starting him off in the 2 guard spot for the first 2 or 3 years of his career, that might be a good thing. That just might be a good thing. That's just me. That's just how I look at it. You know, like I said, what they did with Anthony Davis, putting him at center and forcing him to play center, you know, it wasn't a good move at the time because he wasn't really where he is right now. Like where he is right now, most definitely he can play center because the center position has evolved and changed. But
it's why these guys are in complete control.
When we talking about
on both ends, I mean, in total control right now.
But when we talking about like the first three years, Anthony Davis, the early Anthony Davis. Nah, he couldn't play the center position. He couldn't.
Struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
Boom! He jams it straight down.
And just love seeing Young share the ball. Or when he's focused on involving.
But that's just me though. I know a lot of people might have different opinions. They might feel like you don't know what you're talking about, bro. He can most definitely play this forward position. No, there's too much talent at the forward position. Power forwards, small forwards. You put him at the 5, he gonna be a bust. Like I'm telling you, bro. You really want this guy to develop, and you want to start him off early, man. So put him in a comfortable position. So that when his game is developed enough, you can move him to the 3 spot. You can move him to the power forward spot. You know, the spots that he was in college. Because in college he was playing against kids.
Mitchell in the corner.
That was a grown man playing against kids.
And he drops in the layup off the glass.
That wasn't in college. You can do that in college with Zion, but in the NBA. Different animal, man. Like I said, the NBA is for the wolves, man. You either part of the pack, or you either part of the pack, or you either part of the pack, or you the odd man out. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is in the NBA. NBA is for the Wolves, man.
Outside
Ain't no,
looking.
ain't no, ain't no love, ain't no sympathy out here, bro. You either can hang with, the pack,
The
or you
hook.
gonna be left out. Plain and
And
simple.
the bait shot is
I'm just
good.
keeping it
He's
100.
got 5.
If Zion
Like
Williamson doesn't
Simmons goes
pan
right
out
down low. I mean, with his length and
and he
strength,
can't hang with the
there aren't many
pack,
guys that can keep up with him down there.
he gonna be out. Plain and simple.
Collins passes to the franchise. Back to Collins.
So
Pass to the franchise. Tries again, and he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots
so
no
that's
good.
what they need to do with
And
him.
Team World called for the
That's
foul.
what that's all
Team
that the
USA takes
Pelicans
their
need to do
second
with
and
Zion
third shots at
Williams
the line
is
right
to
here.
play him at the
Clark
2 guard
Coach
spot.
talks about
Because
playing team basketball. Clark,
here's the
back
thing
to the
that I
front court.
noticed about the Pelicans. The Pelicans always had
What
talent.
do you think
I'm
is the
tired of
psychology
people
behind
saying
that?
that the
Well, I think fans
Pelicans
enjoy
never
seeing
gave
players
Anthony
with great
Davis
talent
enough.
approach any
And
sport.
Pelicans
But they
always had
also
the talent. It was
recognize
just
that
uncertain
team
circumstances that would
play
happen. There
is
was
critical to
uncertain. There was
winning.
just
So I
too
think the
many
combination
un.
fans, I think we've got to give them a
It
little
was
more
just
credit. Sure,
too
they want to see
many
the
like
stars play, but they
un.
want to win, and they know to win, teams have to be about team basketball, not
It
just
was just like
highlighting
circumstances that
scoring and
shouldn't have
stalling.
happened
Here's Simmons
with that
after the
team.
made shot
You
from the
know what I'm
inside.
saying? And also, the
Feeds to
blame
Doncic.
really goes on
And
Anthony
stolen by Tatum.
Davis. If we being honest, that Pelicans team is could
139 left in the
definitely have
first.
been a
Here's the
Western
franchise.
Conference
And contact
Finals
on the shot. He'll
appearance
be
team.
shooting free throws
That
here from the
team
free throw
could make
line.
it to the
So
Western
well, we're
Conference
looking at
Finals. That
Team
team could
USA has gone 2
possibly
for
make
3
it
from 3
to
tonight.
And didn't have a single free throw in that
that
first
team
quarter, and
could
he's
possibly
starting to
make it
play
to the
a
playoffs
bit
every
more of an
year.
edge to his game here in the second.
But Anthony
Catching up on the changes
Davis,
for Team USA.
I'm
Allen
gonna just
steps in
come
for
out and
John
say it.
Collins.
The same way I
Weston
feel
comes in
about
for
LeBron
Mitchell.
James
Young is subbed in
to a
for Young.
certain degree,
And a change for Team
it's the
World.
same way I feel about
This is
Anthony
checked in.
Davis. He's not a good
Simmons.
leader.
It's hauled in by Team
Me personally,
USA.
I do not believe that
The
LeBron
franchise
James
is
is
set to
that great of a
inaugurate
leader
now on the night. And out of bounds as Team World gains possession.
because he can be more
So
toxic.
it's Team USA
Because
with the ball.
sometimes LeBron
A
James
7-point
can be
lead as
more
we wrap up the
toxic
quarter. Their defense has
than
been good.
helpful or inspirational. That's why a lot of people don't really fuck with LeBron like that. I guarantee you, nobody's coming to the Lakers this summer. I guarantee you, nobody is coming to the Lakers this
And
summer.
with the big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins
And
with
with
plenty
Anthony
of goals for these
Davis,
teams. One
he's
side
not a
trying to
good
mount a
leader. He
comeback,
can't lead a
one
team.
side trying to protect their
I'm,
lead.
I'm, I'm gonna break it down
Nice
for you
effort
like
there by the
this.
franchise.
Yeah, the effort and intensity
New
from a defensive
Orleans
standpoint has just
has
simply been
has a
superb.
better roster than the
Firing
Milwaukee
up his
Bucks.
team.
I'm
And
being
great
100
coaching.
right
To
now.
have a
They
really good
have Drew
defensive team,
Holiday,
you need that rim
Julius
protector back
Randle,
there. And this guy was an
and a
absolute
bunch of
beast
good
during that half.
solid
We've
guys
got a
who
moment. Let's
who
set the
who
floor.
could
Brought to you
possibly
by
give you
Gatorade, all fueled up
10
for the second
points,
half.
10
And
points and a couple
48
of good
for Team
stats
USA.
on a
John
good night.
Collins is out there with the
That team
franchise.
should have
Looking
at
young.
least been that
Then it's
team could have
Tatum.
been where the
And it takes a
Clippers
quick
were.
minute to 2.
The tenacity on that
That
interior, just
team
battling
should have been where the
with
Clippers
great
were.
will
But
for
guess,
second
but
chance
why?
points.
And look at the Milwaukee Bucks. Look at all the players on the
Donovan
Milwaukee Bucks
Simmons.
and compare them to all the
For Young.
players that were on
And
the
that one's good.
Pelicans.
Simmons. Simmons got 7 points. This could get even more out of hand if they continue to put up points.
Wow, Kevin, what
All
a
those players on the
performance
Pelicans
we are
are
seeing.
better than the Milwaukee Bucks. I
Doncic
guarantee
gives
you
to
that.
Simmons. And Simmons slams it in.
And the vertical of Simmons, guys, I tell you, an extraordinary
But
dunker when given the
I
chance
guarantee you that
to
if you
launch
look
it
at it,
just like
I
that.
know you probably saying on paper, yeah, but in the game it didn't. No,
Here's
they
the pass
didn't
to the
perform on
franchise.
the game
And that one is slipped right
because
through.
And that's
Anthony
how you move the
Davis
basketball.
is
All
not a
the
great leader.
passing leading to
Plus,
production.
Alvin Gentry is not a
Another
good
half of
coach. I'm gonna just
basketball
keep it
here in
100
the
with you.
third quarter.
They don't have a good coach. That's
And
why
McKinnon
Milwaukee
throws it down.
went as
And
far as
that's
they
all for the
did
size of marking and
because
overpowering the defense. He
Milwaukee
won't even
has
hit
a
him.
good
He still
coach.
finishes over and through him.
He's
They
got his first chance at the line
another
here.
that's one of the biggest problems with
And here's
New
Young. He'll
Orleans
bring it
over
up
the
for Team
past couple of
USA.
years now. They never had a good coach. I mean,
Passes it to the
Brian
franchise.
Scott was okay.
Stolen by
I
Markkanen.
ain't gonna lie,
And
Brian
set
Scott
right
was
now for
okay.
Team World.
Um,
Hangs in the air
Brian Scott was okay,
for the
but
3. Drops in the tray. He's
it,
got
it,
11.
And all of a sudden,
he ain't the guy.
speed
He ain't the guy
becomes
you gotta
key for them. The deficit
he ain't the
still
guy.
large,
That's
but
all I'm gonna
now
say.
not
Monty Williams is pretty average. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can help the Phoenix Suns, but he's pretty much an average coach. He's not a coach that can really get you to the playoffs. He's just a coach that I think is good with developing players. You know what I'm saying? Alvin Gentry is just not a good coach. I never believed in Alvin Gentry. Even when he was on the Phoenix Suns, he was not a good coach. They need a better coach, man. Because if they had a better coach, I guarantee you Anthony Davis would be a lot better than what he is right now. He would be better. I'm gonna come out saying right now, if Anthony Davis had the right coaching and the right culture behind him, he would be a great leader, and he would probably be better than Giannis right now. He should be better than Giannis right now. And now he's being manipulated by LeBron James and Rich Paul that he should join up with LeBron because it can help his legacy. No, it's not going to help his legacy. It's going to help LeBron's legacy. That's why I'm telling y'all right now, nobody is going to the Lakers, because if you're going to the Lakers, you're there to help LeBron. You're not there to help yourself. When you lose a game, you take the blame. LeBron gets all the credit. LeBron did his part. Why didn't this guy step up? That's how it always rolls. That's why Kevin Durant was talking about. That's what Kevin Durant was talking about when he was saying that playing with LeBron James, playing around LeBron James is just toxic. He didn't say that LeBron James was toxic. He said everything that circulates around LeBron is toxic. The environment becomes toxic. And that's the truth. It's the fucking truth. Whether you LeBron James fans like it or not, the Lakers are getting nobody this summer. They won't even get fucking. They won't even get the sub level free agents this summer. You ain't gonna get no damn Tobias Harris to go to no damn Lakers. Even Tobias Harris wouldn't come to the goddamn Lakers. Brook Lopez ain't coming back. Shit. You know Porzingis ain't going nowhere because Dallas could easily match it. So listen, man. The Pelicans need to change their coach. They need to get rid of Alvin Gentry.
Has been impressive.
Guys, that's
you need to put a coach. You need to put a coach around.
To stop the drought, and it falls over the rim.
You need to put a coach around Zion and Anthony Davis that can make them better.
One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent.
Now, I don't know who that coach is out there right now. I don't know what's going on with Mark Jackson. I don't know if he's blackballed or not, because nobody seems to be giving him a shot anymore. For some odd reason, nobody seems to be giving him a shot. I mean, Ty Lue, technically, I mean, if you want to, I guess you could put Ty Lue in, but I don't really think he's that great of a developer. I don't know if he's a good developing coach, because you see what he was doing with the Cavaliers without LeBron James. He was more content on playing the older players versus playing with the younger players. He didn't trust the young developing talent, and he wanted to play the talent that he already had because he felt like they could win games. And I'm just looking at it like, and I mean, he should have tried to play with the young talent, because that would have showed a little bit more of his. That would have showed if he was a good coach or not. Because me personally, I don't think you're a good coach. I don't think Tyronn Lue is a great coach. I don't think he's that great of a coach. I think he just had a good team, and they trusted and believed in him, and he knew he had their trust, and he knew that how to handle these guys. Considering the fact that he was a player once upon a time before. It's so yeah, like I'm not gonna sit up here and say,
But at the end of the day, I think it's part and
I'm
parcel
not
to
gonna
the
sit up here and say
environment
he's a
we're in
bad coach.
and the
I don't think he's a good
business
coach for
of the NBA. Sometimes players
developing a
just
team,
aren't
especially with a player
confident
like
in
Zion.
what they
I don't think
hear
he can
directly,
develop
so they
him
take
the
other
right way. They
measures
need a
to
coach
voice
that
their
can
choice or
that's
displeasure.
known for developing talent. And Mark Jackson is the only guy I can think of. So if you can convince Mark Jackson to leave ESPN and come back to coaching, whatever the Pelicans got to do to get Mark Jackson, they need to do it. Because you got Zion Williamson
Looks like
and
the
you
right
have
one.
Anthony
That's the
Davis
one.
on your
No
team.
doubt about it, Greg. I mean, the
You need
game
the
comes
right
so
coach to
naturally
make
to him
this work.
easily. I mean,
If you don't
helping to
have the
expand
right
their lead as
coach,
they
it's
try to
going to
close
be
this
very
one
hard
out.
to make this
He's
work.
doing it.
Alvin Gentry is not the coach. I'm sorry. Alvin Gentry is a terrible coach.
You got to respect the basketball IQ of Tatum. I mean, when the defense is not guarding him tightly, he's going to shoot that ball off the catch.
Anthony Davis is not a leader.
And the pass to Osman. It's rebounded by the franchise.
Because if he was a great leader, he would be dominating the way Giannis is dominating. And yes, I know he's in the Western Conference, but Anthony Davis's talent is good enough for him to be a top 2, top 3 guy in the league. But due to the fact that he has no leadership, and he can't. I don't know what it is about Anthony Davis, but he can't lead his team. He's not a guy that can go to battle. If anything, Anthony Davis is a B+ player. I'm sorry. I hate to say he has A+ talent, but he's a B+ player.
And they haven't been pushed around in the paint
His talent is A+.
Another thing they've done tonight well is share the ball. So many of their points have come off of
But his
crisp
overall
passes.
status his overall game as a player, as a leader, as a teammate, as a guy who has a hard drive to win the game, he's a B-. He's a B- player. He's a B- player with A+ talent.
The franchise has got 39.
And he's just never had the right coach to train him properly and put him in that position where he can be that guy. Because he should be where Giannis is right now. He has talent. He can even shoot better than Giannis. So he should be where Giannis is. The way how people talk about Giannis is the way that people should be talking about Anthony Davis. But I don't know, man. That's just my opinion, though. So like I said, man, if the Pelicans want Zion Williamson to work, you have to play him at the 2 guard. He could dominate there for a while until his skill and his talent develops enough to the point where he can be a forward.
on this game-clinching run.
Exactly. Cold-blooded.
And with Anthony Davis,
Solidified. Great effort.
you got to put the right coach around him to make him get his game right. Because Anthony Davis should be leading team. He just can't lead a team, man. To me, Anthony Davis, like I said, man, he's A+ talent, but a B+ player.
What a terrific game. I tell you what, these young players are going to give
So yeah, man, that's pretty much just gonna about do it for this one, man. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I'll get back to you. Till then, peace out.
Sure is, you're right, Greg. And this really was a fun contest to watch, as it always is. We hope you've all enjoyed it as much as we have. Thanks so much for joining us. For Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, I'm Kevin Harlan. We'll